Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Employment. I'm Meg Andrade, and I'm here today with Meredith Snyder. Meredith is a human resources recruiter at Stella Maris. Welcome, Meredith.
Hi there. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thank you. So, Meredith, would you just tell us a little bit about Stella Maris and what is that organization?
Yes, definitely. So Stella Maris, we've been part of the Baltimore, Maryland community for I want to say about 60 plus years. We are a long-term care facility with lots of other parts to it, from rehab to hospice to senior day center. So it's kind of an all-encompassing elder care center. But what's great is that we also have other parts of it. We work with the Jesuits. We have another company or building, and we also have assistant living on campus too, or independent living on campus.
Okay, awesome. And your role there as an HR recruiter, what types of positions are you recruiting for?
Yes, definitely. So with being an HR recruiter, we are recruiting for, we have nursing lines, but we also, the main ones we also need are service line positions for building services, housekeeping, dining, trying to think, materials management, security. So many different positions, not just the nursing side of this. Everything from EVS, dining, programs and activities, and everything in between.
Okay, awesome. And for everyone listening, I wanted to talk to you today, Meredith, because Stella Maris has been such an awesome partnership with ARC Baltimore for the last few years. And you've hired several people with developmental disabilities in different roles. And for anyone listening who's also doing job development, supporting people with developmental disabilities, or even for employers who are listening who are curious about how to diversify and expand their workforce. I want to talk about sort of how the relationship was built between our two organizations. And from your HR standpoint, what has made the partnership so successful?
Definitely. So the ARC has also been here, I believe, for over 50 years.
A long time.
So it's also a well-established company that has a great reputation. I like to also think Stella Maris has a great reputation and has been part of the community for a long time. So it's kind of one of those things where it was, I think, bound to happen, and kind of a nice, perfect kind of fit. We're trying to take care of people, and the ARC is trying to get people into work and satisfying work jobs. So it's been a great partnership. It started, I would say, a couple of years ago. One of the ARC employees, Mark Boston, reached out asking, if Stella Maris had any interest in, hiring anyone from the ARC. And what was great was that the ARC took their time. They didn't just send us 20 people and were like, please hire them. They really took the time to understand the company, to understand how we operate, how we then, each job, they wanted us to, break it down. What is the job description? What is the task? What is their day-to-day job going to be like? And so it was really nice. So the relationship was built. And then it was a couple weeks later that we then started some interviewing. And then I also appreciated was that like I said, the ARC isn't just trying to get their numbers up. They're trying to make meaningful job experiences. So, the ARC might send someone 1 month and then a couple more months later, someone else. So they really want to find someone who would be good for Stella Maris and who would be good for that candidate. And so it's because, not every business is for everyone, just like any other job or any other person. So I find it's been a great relationship because they know what we're looking for. And it's kind of been a nice thing where a trust has been made. And it's really, I know when they're sending someone to us that this person could and will succeed with us, because we don't want anyone to fail. That's just not what we want to do. And so the ARC really has made sure to take their time, understand us, and really bring people that would want to be here. And so it's just been a great relationship. Previous to COVID, the ARC would come out to us. We have meetings a couple times, a month. Really just also because we just all hit it off. So it was nice seeing them. But it's been a great partnership. I like to think of it as a partnership more so, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I just want to take a moment. Like you mentioned, Mark Boston sort of helped establish that relationship between the ARC and Stella Maris. And he, like you said, really, that was one of the good things about Mark. He would not just send anybody. He really wanted to establish a position that would work out long term. And I just wanted to take a moment. We lost Mark unexpectedly in the spring of this year. And it's been obviously a loss for his family, but a big loss for us at the ARC. And I think, like you mentioned, he was so good at establishing, that connection with people,
Yes.
not just trying to fill slots. He really took his time, I think, on the employer's end and also with the people that we're supporting, because like you mentioned, not everybody wants to work in, a care facility or rehab setting. Not everyone wants to do dining services. So I think that's really important as job developers, that first and foremost, we consider what the individual wants to do. And of course, what their strengths are. And I think as a testament to you guys, like you mentioned, being able to kind of see where people fit and putting them in different roles. You mentioned dining services. Can you tell us the different tasks that the people hired through the ARC are doing in dining?
Well, what is great is that everybody has different skill set. And so everyone has something to bring to the table. And so we have some people who from the ARC that have come on board, and right away their first job is, we have different dining rooms up on the different neighborhoods. We call the units neighborhoods, and they will be in charge of, wiping down the tables, pushing in the chairs, making the dining room feel really nice. And I would say that's definitely the entry level at first. Then, and sometimes they just love that job and they're good at it, and that's perfect. Then we'll have some other, employees that, they master that and they want to move forward. And so they will help with serving the food. They will also, plate the food, take the food up to the residents. So it's a nice variety. We also have another person who is I would say it's called porter, where they're in the kitchen and they do a lot of the cleaning, from cleaning pots and pans to the big heavy ovens and, dishwashers, things like that. So, within just even in dining, there are different steps and positions within just a dining service assistant role. And it's wonderful, I think.
And I happen to know that they all really enjoy their jobs.
Yes.
What they're doing in dining, but also just being at Stella Maris and the environment. So what's been your experience with job coaches? Because I think sometimes what we find when we're talking to employers and people in the community is that they're nervous about having a job coach come on site with someone. And I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding about the job coach's role, and will they be in the way? And is it a liability? So what's been your experience with having job coaches?
It's awesome. I wish all of our employees had job coaches, to be honest. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's been great. Like any employee, any person, some people, it takes a little bit longer to learn a job, or they just need a little bit refresher. And so I have found, and the managers, because of course, when we're telling them we're bringing on this new program, this idea, it's intimidating at first. But once they understood that the job coach is truly there to help and to make the person succeed, it's great. I have yet to get a complaint from a manager. Now, I kind of like it because we do annual in services, and everyone has different skills on the computer. So the job coaches, I don't worry about my ARC employees. The job coaches are going to make sure that they get these done. They will walk them through the hiring process. Sometimes people need a little bit of a refresher on their day-to-day work, and the job coach will come in and we'll do the job with them, not do the job for them, but like, okay, what are we doing now? And what's the next step? And I have yet to get a complaint we have one gentleman who's a job coach for a couple of our employees. And so I'm used to seeing him in the building. Everyone's used to seeing him in the building. And he like comes every once in a while. Like, I think it's last time he was here, probably in July. And, here for a couple of hours, he minds his own business, makes sure that the candidate's doing what they're doing. And it's great. I have yet to hear any complaints, but I do understand people are first a little nervous about another body in a building, especially with COVID. But with that said, they know what they need to do. They know they need to follow the guidelines and everything. These are professionals, and they just want our candidates and our employees to succeed.
Right. And that's actually a great point. So job coaches are typically covered, under their own agency's insurance. So they're not coming into these other employers as a liability.
Exactly.
Everything is covered. But like you mentioned, some people might take a little while longer. A job coach will help a person through orientation. Like you said, there's different computer tasks, and people have varying, levels of comfort with the computer. I know we had some tech issues this morning, and
exactly.
I wish there was someone here to help me. So definitely with that extra help. But like you mentioned, for a couple of your employees, the job coach hasn't been in since the summer. So I think it's so important for people to realize that in the beginning, the job coach might be present more often, and that's to help the employer with any extra training or whatever is required to really set that person up for success. But then they sort of fade out and they're never gone from the picture. The job coach is always there when you need them. Should you call as the employer, hey, we need a little refresher? Or like you said, if someone starts out in one role and then they grow and their responsibilities change or they have additional duties, then the job coach can come back and make sure that they're, up to speed and they understand their role there. So it's really, I think that's a great point. It's not a hindrance. I'm glad to hear from you, an employer, that you don't feel like you're in the way.
No, and it's I know especially with COVID and healthcare, the idea it's intimidating, like, oh, for a director, like, oh my goodness, am I going to have to hold this person's hand the entire day, or how long is it going to be? And of course, as directors or managers, you want to be a good leader and train them, but it's also it's kind of less stress. I think with having an extra person there, just kind of guiding the candidate, and I don't know, we haven't had an issue. It's been really great. And like I say, with COVID, sometimes we're working short staffed, and if the job coach is here or something, they don't get in the way. They know we have to work, but it's a nice way for the director or manager or supervisor. They don't have to kind of overshadow, like, be on top of the employee.
Right.
So it's good.
I know for me as a job developer, that's always, top of mind, is like, what is the business's bottom line, or the organization? They have a job to do, and we want people with developmental disabilities to have the opportunity to contribute to that bottom line.
Yes.
If they are not a good fit for that position, then certainly I, as a job developer, would never sort of put them in that position. And that's also what the job coach is there for, to make sure that things are going smoothly and we're just adding value,
Exactly.
True of hiring people in general. So I always appreciate when an employer gets that, these are just people working, and sometimes the accommodations are needed, but this is not, charity.
I was just gonna, they're getting a paycheck. They wear a uniform. They are employees. They have the same standards as any other employee. But the pride they have with their uniform, you can't beat it. You just can't beat it.
Right. And that's actually another great point. So again, I never want to say hire this person because they have a disability. And certainly I can't speak for people with disabilities, but I've heard many of them say, treat me like a normal, I'm a normal person, and that's what we want. But also what we tend to find is that when employers open themselves up to a more diverse workforce, they notice some of the pros that come with hiring, from this community. What have you noticed, aside from like the pride in uniform, and what things have you noticed about the people that you've hired through the ARC?
So I know with our employees who aren't from the ARC, they take, and I can't speak for everyone, but they love having them there. It adds a different dynamic to the team. I found that it kind of brings them up. If this employee showing up every day, he's not late, it kind of makes the other employees step it up. And I'll see in the hallway sometimes, or all the time, really, everyone knows everyone's names and really watches out for each other. So it's really, I don't know, it's our employees love it, and because everyone's here for the same mission and the same reason, and it's about our residents, and so we're all here for the residents. We all have something to offer, and our employees get that, and that's been really great. And like I said, though, they still are working, they're still getting their job done, but they might have somebody that kind of watches out for them a little bit more. I don't know, it's been a positive experience. I just see no flaws in having them here. Our residents enjoy them. They are very good listeners. A lot of the ARC employees come in, and it's just been a great experience. I think it's been great for our employees, not just for Stella, the business.
Right. And actually, a lot of what you said is also a testament to your workplace environment, that people enjoy coming in, they take pride in their work, they look out for each other. But I think for people out there listening who maybe want to work but are a little bit nervous, and probably especially for some parents out there who
of course
have and just anyone with a loved one who might have a disability, kind of being a little nervous or overprotective about their loved one working. I think it's such a great reminder that there are natural supports out there when you go into a positive work environment, and I can say that Stella Maris has been a positive work environment, as far as we've witnessed. People do look out for each other, and so it's not just the job coach that's there to support someone. There are also supports built in terms of their coworkers, and everyone sort of looking out for each other. So it doesn't have to be as scary for anyone.
No.
It doesn't have to be scary for the family. We really, when you work with employers or with an agency like the ARC Baltimore providing employment supports, they're really, if you put that level of trust there, it tends to work out. And I think that's been like a hallmark of the ARC and Stella Maris, our relationship, is like the trust between us.
Yes. And I think for parents, I totally understand. I mean, I don't understand, I'm not a parent, but I could get where the nerves, because you don't want people to be mean to your child, or you don't want them to fail. And I generally have found that if people are happy at work or believe in the company's mission, the people are going to be good people. I don't know, and good people will step up and watch out for each other. We did have one of the ARC employees miss the bus one day, and they started walking home. Well, a coworker called up, what do I do? And so we made sure to get her home. And so everybody really does watch out for each other. And it's kind of one of those things where it should just be all employees watch out for each other, not even just, the ARC and the other employees. It's everyone, and it's really nice. And it's kind of funny. I have one of the employees from the ARC, she checks in on me. She wants to know how I'm doing. And so it's kind of, I always look for my check-in, because I'm like, wait, she hasn't asked me how I'm doing lately. So it has changed where now she checks in on me, and she has that confidence. And I do think it is intimidating because you don't want anyone to be mean, but I do generally think people want to be nice and do want to help. And when they see that there's people that are just wanting to do a job and do well, people will see that and want to help them. Yeah.
Right. And also, when we give people the dignity of work and making their own choices and taking risks, then you sort of you see the benefits there. Like you just said,
Yes.
somebody's checking in on you. And that's when you treat someone as a whole human capable of,
Yes.
working and making decisions and um, all of those different things, then they give that back to you. And so I think
Exactly.
that's such an awesome example of, the idea that everyone can work. And I thank you
Exactly.
and Stella Maris for giving people the opportunity to show their potential and, like you said, to grow within the
Hmm.
organization. So I'm really thankful, and I know I can speak for the employees because they've mentioned that they love working at Stella Maris.
Oh, that makes me so happy. And they you should come to work and be happy, or days can be tough, but it's so nice to see their smiling faces at work, and it truly brings a full dynamic workplace, because in healthcare or anywhere, if you just constantly have the same set mindset or the same people, nothing is ever going to change or get better or improve. And so with dynamics different and different, education, and I don't know, it brings more to Stella. It just makes us a better company and just connects with more people. And it just, I love it.
Yeah, I'm that just hearing that is just like it's music to my ears. I just want to tell all the employers, like, there's diversity can only bring good things. It just
Exactly.
every experience richer. So anyway, Meredith, thank you so much
Of
for chatting
course.
with me, and thank you for being just such a great resource, and just for representing Stella Maris in such a positive way all the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. And I love our partnership, and I look forward to what we can do in the future.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, have a happy new year, and I'm sure we'll chat soon.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.